two-bit road warrior right here. Hyper thrust.
Adventure at the speed of light.
Somebody's got to get this guy off the street. I'm going to do it.
Street Hawk.
Saturday mornings at 11 on Baltimore 54.
The excitement is real. The jackpot is $1 million cash and prizes. Who will be next to win on the $1 million chance of a lifetime?
Weeknights at 10:30 on Baltimore 54. WUVTV Baltimore 54, your Pet of the Day station.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stu Kerr. Welcome to the Amateur Duckpin Tour. We're coming to you from Greenway East bowling lanes, and you're going to see the finals from Fairlanes Westview tournament. We've had some very, very good final matches so far, and we expect these matches to be just as good, if not better. Joe Rainier is our color man, and Joe, you've got the word on a couple of the bowlers anyway.
Well, I know we have fourth seat Joey Sears, 120 average bowler from Severna Park, and he'll be bowling Ernie Schuhly from Woodbine, 127 average bowler.
And commentary by Tom Ogle Jr. Tom, what do you know about your bowlers?
Well, the winner of our first match will go on to bowl second seed Tony Dargan, a 124 average bowler from Baltimore. And the winner of that match will go and bowl our first seed Ron De Carlo, a 128 average bowler, also from Baltimore, for our $800 first prize.
I was just going to say the $800 is there waiting for a winner. And we'll start the tournament after these messages.
Duckpin bowling, reach for the sky. The ball's in your lane. Make it fly, fly. Keep the ball rolling out, give it a try. Little ball, big ball, reach for the sky.
Looking for fun? Bowl at Fairlanes this weekend. Get the whole gang to go with you. Short season leagues now forming at all Fairlane centers.
Duckpin bowling, reach for the sky. My, oh my.
Want a good job? Looking for a professional career? Then come to Strayer Business College, where in only 6 months or up to 15 months you can prepare for a brighter future. Strayer, Maryland's oldest business college, located in downtown Baltimore, offers programs in word processing, secretarial, business administration, and accounting. Strayer is now registering for its spring quarter. Deadline for registration is March 9th, so call Strayer Business College at 539-5626. That's 539-5626. Day and night classes, job placement, and financial aid are available.
Pain is so, and it doesn't stop. I just don't need this now.
Pamprin understands the intense pain of menstrual cramps. New Pamprin IB is so safe, so effective, that 8 out of 10 gynecologists recommend its medicine for fast cramp relief. Pamprin IB, intense medicine for intense cramps, because you just don't need this now.
Okay, here we go. The Amateur Duckpin Tour, the finals of Fairlanes Westview Tournament. Our contestants, as you saw in the first round, Joey Sears. You're looking really at Ernie Schuhly Jr. right now. He's a 9 handicap against Joey Sears, a 4th seed, a 15 handicap. And gentlemen, there's the first ball.
Ernie once again laying the ball into the 1-2 pocket, this time breaking the 6-pin. He'll be looking to open up this match with a spare.
He's a fast starter, isn't he? No.
I tell you, he bowls quick. He does. Now, there's a situation we've pointed out before on previous shows where a bowler's lined up with a pin. I would have to say that this is probably Ernie's toughest pin, because he has to throw the ball straight down the lane at it. There's no room for movement.
Ernie covers the 6-pin, along with his 9 handicap, and the 10 for the frame, has a 19 score after 1 frame.
There's a different style that we've seen, Joe, at least to my eye. What does that mean to you?
Sort of shoots from the hip.
Yeah.
But you know, if you watch, you can do a lot of things before release.
Release, yeah.
As long as you get back in position.
Right.
Of course, I think the less that you do, the less room for error. And he moves the ball around quite a bit.
And Joey starts off his first frame with an 8. And with his 15 handicap, we'll have a score of 23 after one frame. And he'll move over to the left-hand lane and shoot in frame 2.
Joey's the 4th seed in this tournament. Been bowling for 5 years. He's a kind of busy young man. Busy with schooling and work, and really has to admit that he hasn't been bowling that much lately, as much as he enjoys it. Obviously good enough to get in the tournament, though.
Yeah, real well. He's in the ladder, and there he converted a 5-pin spare shot. He was on the winning team at the Severna Park Doubles in March of '84. $800, so maybe that's a lucky number.
Yeah.
He got half of it, but I mean, it was an $800 first place.
Ernie getting a break there as he threw the ball left of the head pin. Some pin action leaving the head pin for a spare.
I'll bet our bowlers are sitting home watching this saying, boy, I wish I'd have joined the Amateur Duckpin Tour. I can bowl that good,
Yeah.
you know?
And Ernie converts the head pin for his first mark of the game. Both bowlers now on the board with marks.
You know, it's kind of interesting interviewing Ernie before this match. I asked him if he's bothered by the cameras and lights, and he said for maybe a frame. After that, I get to my thinking and concentration. And I said, as I recall, you're pretty good in those early frames. He said, yeah, maybe that nervousness helps me out a bit.
One thing for sure, you might as well adjust to them because they're not going to go away.
Ernie counting 9 on his spare, looking to pick up the 10 pin, and does so.
But it's a friendly crowd, and of course it's a friendly game, and all the players enjoy each other, which is
I tell you, Stu, it keeps some of the bowlers bowling for years past when they may have given it up.
Exactly.
Simply the camaraderie and the competition, and you know, it's a relatively inexpensive sport to participate in. It doesn't necessarily have to take away from your work. It's on the weekends, and
a lot of people can enjoy this sport. In fact, I'm out once or twice a month with multiple sclerosis bowlers, and boy, do they have a fun time.
Joey now throwing his third ball here in the third frame. Counting 2 on the mark, 9 out for the frame. That'll give him a score of 44 after 3, and he'll throw here in the 4th frame.
He bowls out of the Colonial Lanes down Annapolis way.
if our bowlers at home watching would get a pen and paper, I'm sure we'll flash the address and phone number of the Amateur Duckpin Tour during the matches, and you can do what's necessary to join. It's fun for all, men, women, any averages. It is handicap up to 135. Anyone over 135, of course, is not eligible to bowl.
Joey looking to convert the 10 pin, and he's right on it, just as Ernie Schuhly was the previous frame. Both bowlers shooting their single pins really well this opening match, Joe.
Whoops.
I let that one get away from him, taking out the 2 and 8.
Ernie bowls at your lanes, doesn't he, Joe?
Sure does.
Down Erie Lanes?
He's come a long way, I tell you, and I really have to credit the Amateur Duckpin Tour. It put a competitive spirit in him, and he went out just to see how good he could get, and he's come a long way.
I hope the audience caught that address.
Was a little quick. Maybe we can get it back up there in a little bit. There's
Ernie with 9 out. Score of 59 through 4.
Amateur Duckpin Tour, Post Office Box 432, Joppa, Maryland, 21085.
Ernie's manager of his, you said, family seafood restaurant.
They have a family, they have a wholesale, retail, fresh seafood, and they have a restaurant in Hagerstown.
And Ernie once again covering the wood I'll give him 69 through 5, and Joey Sears will come up now, working on a mark in the 5th frame.
You noticed Ernie is a junior, so there's that guy I call Old Ernie. That's his dad.
Yeah.
7 count for Joey.
Joey's dad is the gentleman off to the right there wearing the glasses in the plaid shirt. And I asked him, his name is Charlie. I asked Charlie, you teach Joey everything he knows? I certainly did, and I'm going to pick up the $800 too.
Uh-oh.
Looking to convert the 1, 3, and 6, playing it on the outside.
It's a little tough luck.
Not carrying the 6.
Don't you think, Tom, if a bowler admitted that really wasn't where he was shooting? I mean, you do try not to favor a pocket, and you'll carry that shot as many times out there as you'll leave it, probably more so.
Right.
There's Dad. Very, very proud of his son.
Joey trailing by 9 pins here through 5 frames. Still anyone's match.
He's a student at Anne Arundel Community College. And plans to work for Macy's.
The score through 5, Tom, they had a mistake there, and they corrected it. In the 5th frame, Joey has 70, and Ernie has 69, both in the 5th frame.
So it's a close match, as they've all been every week.
They're even close when we don't think they're close, Tom.
Joey now looking to pick up the wood here on his 3rd ball. Once again, he pulls the ball to the left for an 8 count here in the 6th frame. Ernie Schuhly now up. He'll be rolling in the 6th frame.
Whoops. They got away with it, Tom, but we've seen Ernie throw a couple erratic pitches, and he hasn't done that in the past.
Well, with the invention of the plastic pins and the double sideboards, you see a lot nowadays, throw the ball off to the side, as we say, you'll come up with that spare blade.
Yeah, and he came right back with a good ball.
Up, right. Joey Sears in a close-up there was shaking his head at this to say, I've got to do better than that.
See Ernie's composite average is 133.
You think the tour and practice hasn't helped? I know that a year and a half ago, Ernie was about 118.
Well, he said, you know, jokingly that I'm a veteran now. I'm really relaxed. And he looks it, though. He looks relaxed.
Well, I tell you, he probably has as much experience in the last 6 months as any bowler out there, because he goes and he bowls in everything. You know, not only the amateur tour, but he goes to local tournaments. He'll bowl in both of them. Sometimes 3 tournaments in the same weekend.
Well, of course, we've seen him before, you know, here, and he's done quite well.
Yeah, and if you don't believe that, ask Bernie Kramer, right?
Right. Bernie Kramer was his last opponent, last time we saw him, anyway.
Well, you know what you notice with Ernie is what he told you. I think inside he means that.
Yeah.
He really feels that, and this adds to the confidence, and that's where a little cockiness can even come from, and I don't think that hurts anybody.
No, a little bit doesn't hurt.
No.
You need that.
Sure, you have to believe in yourself.
You got to believe it. And you know, it doesn't hurt to let the other guy know you believe it either.
Joey picking up 9 here in the 7th frame for a score of 87.
He has trouble with that single pin, doesn't he? Seems to be. He's even off to the left all the time. Is he lining himself up wrong, do you think?
Well, you know, a little bit with Joey, in his defense, is he admittedly is not bowling very well.
Yes, that's true, right.
And it's just, you have to practice. You have got to practice, and he's not bowling at all, let alone, you know, to practice. He's just not getting many games in.
Single high game in bed, though, 197. But he's a young man going to school and enjoys bowling to relax him, get him away from studies.
Working and going to school, I'm sure that this is a means of relaxation.
Joey now looking to pick up the 10-pin, the hold wood, here in the 8th frame. And he does so.
He hits a 10-pin well.
But you know,
through 8 frames.
All the people we've spoken to, I mean, in the tournament and behind the scenes at the lanes here, that's what they say about duckpin bowling. Relaxing, fun. These are the words they use. And that's really all that you want.
Well, I tell you, there aren't many sports that offer the the combination of the competitiveness and the fun. You know, there's no one out there they're not going to be enemies if Ernie wins or if Joey wins. You know, they're going to see each other at the next tournament. You know, and probably bowl together as doubles partners.
Right, exactly.
Ernie now looking to hold wood. Ernie is our defending champion. He won last week's championship, the finals from Bowl America, Reisterstown. It's 105 through 8, now bowling in the 9th.
You could tell that was going to be a good ball. It's a tough break, but his rhythm was perfect. He had a nice knee bend and the extension of the arm when he come through. And those are part of the game that you really have no control of. You accept them, you're going to get your number of them, and I still feel the guy that hits the object pin the most is going to end up on top.
Is he leaving the door open here for Joey?
Well, he's giving him the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, Joey's a mark behind, a mark and a count, and right there he could have put him on a double.
Right.
And he didn't.
Right.
So yes, that's a breath of fresh air, so to speak. So Joey should feel pretty good right at this point. I'm still in it, you know. He threw that ball well.
He's in it all right.
First strike of the game for either bowler, and it comes at an opportune time for Joey.
Watch
Sears
the timing and position. I think they're going to give us a replay on this. And don't see the arm. There's one thing in common with every well-thrown ball. The arm comes through in a pretty straight arc.
Going for a double, getting some mixing pins. A few rolling here, but I don't think there's enough to knock it over.
He's changed the complexion here. He went from the behind to on top.
Right, and you saw Ernie with a little concerned look on his face as he checked the score.
Well, we've mentioned before, it's hard to keep running when you're looking over your shoulder.
These young bucks keep on coming.
I think Joey got Ernie's attention, and that's...
And he converts the 3-pin. He'll now be throwing his count in the 10th frame, 127 plus.
Ernie's ready. He says, let me up there.
Yeah.
If I can cut him off and he don't get to throw this ball, I won't be near as far behind, right?
Yeah.
But Joe's going to throw his count ball.
It's a big one, huh?
Tom said he's 127 in this ball.
And 7 gives him 134. Leaving Ernie having to pick up a mark and
so he needs
9
20,
to tie, 20 to win by 1 stick.
Good ball.
It flew across, but...
Well, he cut that ball off. He put it on the floor and pulled it across, and it caused the head pin to fly straight to the right instead of going back any. He did, he gave it a shot.
He did.
So we have a winner. Joey Sears come from behind in the 9th and 10th.
And there's a smile on Joey's face. He pulled that out. He really did.
Ernie going for the wood, picking up for the final of 123 for Ernie Schuhly.
So, the 4th seed Joey Sears up on Ernie Schuhly, meeting Tony Dargan next, and we'll be back after these messages.
Duckpin bowling, reach for the sky. The ball's in your lane. Make it fly. The ball rolling out, give it a try. Little ball, big ball.
Looking for fun? Bowl at Fairlanes this weekend. Get the whole gang to go with you. Short season leagues now forming at all Fairlane centers.
Duckpin bowling, reach for the sky. My, oh my.
Look fast, because the hands on this watch are about to disappear. Now, look again. And they're back. Why do these hands disappear? Because they're not really hands at all. They're actually electronic pulses of light. Introducing the amazing laser beam wristwatch. Destined to become a legend in its own time, we believe it will soon be one of the most sought-after watches in history. Developed by a leading computer scientist, the laser beam wristwatch is about to be launched in a coast-to-coast advertising campaign by one of the largest watch companies in America. And it will be one of the most expensive luxury timepieces of its kind ever sold by this leading multi-million-dollar firm. However, as part of a special publicity campaign, we will send you one of these amazing new laser beam luxury watches. Not for the hundreds of dollars you might expect, but for only $10. Yes, That's right. We will actually send you a revolutionary laser beam watch for only $10. They will not be sold at this price by the company in any store. Your laser beam watch is 100% computer driven, so powerful it never needs winding, and accurate to within seconds per month. And its mysterious, disappearing hands attract so much attention, you may find complete strangers striking up a conversation just to get a closer look. But to get your amazing laser beam wristwatch for only $10, you must act now. This special publicity offer may be withdrawn at any time. If you call within the next 30 minutes, you can order a second laser beam watch for only $5, just half price.
To order, call toll-free 1-800-441-3535. Save COD charges by using your Visa or MasterCard, or mail $10 plus $2 shipping and handling to Laser Beam Watch, P.O. Box 1738, Hicksville, New York. Please specify men's or ladies, gold tone or silver tone, and call now, 1-800-441-3535.
The Amateur Duckpin Tour tournament schedule, February 14th and 15th, Bowl America, Reisterstown. February 21-22, Fairlanes, Marlow Heights. February 28-29, Pikesville. March 7 and 8, Fontana Bowl. March 14-15, Fairlanes, Joppa. To enter, call 679-8008.
And we're about to start the second round of the finals of the Fairlane Westview tournament. Joey Sears, who just disposed of Ernie Schuhly Jr. He's the 4th seed, now facing the 2nd seed, Tony Dargan. Tony's got an 11 handicap with Joey still at a 15 handicap. And here's Tony.
And Tony has made the choice of going first, which will finish him last.
Right, he bowls 1 frame.
Right, then Joey will bowl 2.
Right.
And this will make Tony finish last. He'll start first, but he'll bowl the 10th frame last. He'll know if it's over or if he needs something to win.
Right.
And we've gone over that before. I think everybody's psychology is a little different.
Tony now looking to pick up the 7 pin for Woody here in the opening frame. He pulled it a little left.
Now, Joe, you said earlier you don't care what kind of action happens behind that line. It's when the ball is released. What do you think of Tony's routine there before he releases that ball? If it's his style, that's okay? Is that how you...
If you can do it every time, it's part of his rhythm. He gets the ball in motion, which is one of the #1 rules of the game, is to get that arm straight, which is a push away. Joey, he chooses to start with the arm extended, which gives you a nice pendulum start, and Tony, he moves it into motion. But the basics, it still comes down to the basic straight pendulum arm swing.
Joey getting 8 in his opening frame with his 15 handicap, will have a score of 23, and Tony getting 9 and with his 11 handicap, a score of 20 after 1 frame. And Joey Sears in frame 2.
So he's picked up 1 pin on that handicap.
That's 10 in a game, you know.
That's true, you're right. That's enough to win, huh? Sure is.
Yeah, because they only have a 4-pin spread,
right.
So as far as the handicap.
Of course, if it weren't like that, as we said, the machines would be the other end of the lane.
Well, you know, the handicap, I think, comes in quite a bit more often in the qualifying, where the lesser bowler needs the pins, you know, over the course of the 4-game qualifying that they bowl. In a head-to-head, you'll tend, I think the lesser bowler will improve, and you tend to bowl like the person you're bowling against. So I think the lesser bowler has as much, if not more, of an edge than the better bowler. Again, it's the mental part of the game. You know, it's what you can do with your mind as far as concentrating on your game.
Tony coming up light in the 1-2, getting good pin action and leaving the 10 pin for spare. And he's right on it. It's our first mark of the match.
Looking good, too.
Talk about psychological. Well, you talk about psychological. I've been watching Joey, and he's actually chose, whether it be because of the camera lighting or just psychological, he doesn't watch his opponent.
No, you're right. You're right. Eyes were down.
Tony counting 6 on his spare.
Because, you know, the roll-around pin, the effect, the strong bowler that Tony is, and the speed that he throws the ball, if you don't watch, it doesn't have near as, you know, the effect on you.
How do you handle that, Tom? Do you
I don't look
no.
at all. I would much rather react to the crowd than I would to see what happened.
But are you thinking of your game at the time? In other words,
definitely.
You're not just turning away just to turn away.
Absolutely.
You're concentrating on your own game.
You have to in head-to-head competition like this, or you're going to be nowhere. As Joe has mentioned on several occasions, the mental aspect of this game is 90% of the bowling, and if you're not there with that mental attitude and the right mental attitude, your chances for success are going to be slim.
You have to talk yourself into winning.
Well, here's Joey's chance to post his first mark in this game. One for Tony.
Joe's composite average, 120.
He shot the right side very well in the games we've watched so far, so we'll see what happens.
Bang.
Talked him into that, didn't we?
Right, we sure did.
Made you look good, Joe. That's Joey's first mark here for this match. It's 43 plus in the third.
Tie game, minus this or plus this ball. So whatever he knocks down, that's what he'll be up.
Staying true to form, another close match.
Joey wants to get in business administration after he finishes at Anne Arundel Community College.
I tell you, Joe, I think if the 2-pin fell, he'd have had to strike there because it was heading right in that direction of the head pin.
You don't think Tony had anything to do with that staying up, do you? He was looking at it pretty hard.
I dare you to fall.
Yeah, please don't. Let's keep the game close.
Shooting the 1-2. There's just a little left.
But there's what happens when a bowler mentally is shooting the pocket more times than enough.
You start to aim the ball instead of
well, you've
throwing
cut
the
that
ball.
pocket. Excuse me. You've cut that pocket in half. You've actually cut your target in half.
Right, right.
And I think most bowlers would admit to you, and I know at Tom's level, you can pick that shot, meaning knock the front one off, and walk away from it feeling much better than if you knock the back one off. It doesn't disturb the mental part of your game near as much to knock the front one off because you hit your target.
Right, you're where you want to be, and that's the object pin.
Tony Dargan's been bowling for 6 years. He's an orthopedic technician. And he bowls at Pikesville lanes Saturday nights in the mixed, and Monday nights in the mixed, with the mixed bowlers.
Tony's doing the smart thing here. He's going after the wood, not worrying about making the shot.
He probably has a lot of clients that bowl, you know, with their bad knees and bad wrists and bad elbows.
Tony picks up the wood there in the fourth frame. Tony's composite average is a respectable 124.
Both bowlers are college boys. Tony's over at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And so he's working and schooling as well.
Well, spending money to buy some books.
All right.
Whoops.
Letting that one get away, taking off the 7-pin on the first ball. We'll see how he reacts to that. See if he keeps his composure and can come back and get back.
I think he will. He took some time, and I think it's just total lack of concentration when that happens every once in a while. Now there's a tough break. You do a little bit of over adjusting. The ball could have been an inch right or left.
Could have been and right to the right. I agree.
Yeah, well, he'd have knocked down a lot more.
Sure.
Now he's saying, "Oh my Lord, I've thrown 2 balls. I got 3 pins."
Tony trailing by 7 pins after 4 frames. Be looking to pick up as much wood as he can here to keep that lead as close to 7.
Tony's a big boy.
He is.
And he does so. Excellent cleanup.
A little deceiving, but he's pretty good size.
I'm sure the pins know it, too. There's his 3-game set for Joey.
Good work.
4-9-2.
Joey once again off the head pin, leaving himself the 1-3 set up for spare.
Which would be his second. There are only 2 in the contest so far.
There's a back pin on a 2-pinner.
Ball just didn't quite finish.
Again, we have two bowlers. They're both pin bowlers. But did you notice where Joey's eyes went about the middle of his second step?
Yeah, right. They dropped. Does that happen sometimes when the pin bowling doesn't work? You go to spot bowling?
Some people have the ability to switch back and forth, but like I say, most people are a combination and they just don't realize it.
And Joey up with a strike here in frame number 6.
Don't tell me.
Well thrown ball.
Right into 1-3, a lot of power.
It's like a replay of the contest with Ernie. You know, Joey pulled up strong at the end.
He sure did.
After sort of a methodical game up till that point.
Tony square on the head pin, taking at the 1, 5, 8, 9, and 10.
I tell you, Tommy, and you've been around the game for a while now, most bowlers years ago would shoot one of these two-pinners thin to slide it. And nowadays, they make the shot just as often throwing it at the hole as he almost did.
Getting the
Because the
fly
pins
back.
will come off the rubber.
Right.
You know, they're using the sideboards more with the younger breed of bowler coming up.
Well, that's what they're there for. I
Sure
mean,
they are.
They're there to enhance the score, and if you can make splits like that, that's going to increase your score and your average.
Now, you've alluded to that quite often. Is that something that has changed recently, the sideboard?
No, the sideboards have been around for a number of years. It took the bowlers a long time to change.
Oh, I thought maybe perhaps the material was
No,
different and allowed for a bigger
middle
bounce.
60s. The rubber came out where they placed the rubber on the sideboards in the middle 60s, and they've improved upon the pin over the last 10, 12 years to where it's more durable and livelier. And we as proprietors have learned a little bit about the treatment of the pin deck, where the pin's setting, and the cleanliness of it, and keeping our rubber clean. It keeps it liver. So the bowler's getting his dollar's worth now, and I think enjoying it more.
So shake up those pins and bounce them off the sideboards and see what you get, huh?
You just you want to throw a live ball and not necessarily speed, am I speaking, but the turns on the ball. And just if you keep hitting the object pin, if you keep banging on that closest pin to you, you're going to come out a very good bowler.
Tony looking to pick up the 5 pin for Wood. He does so, giving him 83 through 7. Joey Sears with a strike up, working in the 6th. Will be bowling here in the 7th.
Could be a turning point, Tom.
And he leaves the 4-pin breadline, the 1, 2, 4, and 7. Still counting on that strike.
Almost.
A little light on the
9
outside
count.
of the head pin.
He got 3 for 1 that time, so he can't be too upset.
No, I guess not.
Nothing wrong with that 9 count on that strike. Gives him 89 in the 6th. That increases his lead over Tony to 16 pins.
And time is running out.
And he picks up the 7 for a 10 frame.
But Tony's only had 1 mark this entire game, and he sits in the 8th frame now, and this is where he needs them.
Well, you know, the last game was very similar to this, and we watched Joey change it.
Exactly.
You know, turn things
Exactly.
around. So I think Joey knows or knew before he threw that he best not fall asleep.
No.
Well, he's not making it easy on Tony. He's keeping the pressure on him. We'll take a look at this again. Right in a 1-3. Excellent ball. Getting the pin, take the 8 pin, taking out the 5.
Maybe that's part of Joey's strategy, you know? He lulls his opponent to sleep in the first 6 frames and then clubs him.
I think he'd rather not do that.
No, I guess not. That's taking a chance.
Tony now looking to make the 7 pin.
Some opponents never sleep, you know.
That's
So
true.
this is a big pin to keep him even in the game.
It sure is.
All right, dropped it a little bit behind the foul line there, Joe.
Well, you know, when you need them, the ball gets heavy, the pin gets small, and you're running
feet
out of
get quick.
time. And there's another bowler that doesn't use, in my opinion, enough of the lane when he's shooting that particular corner.
Tony with 92 through 8. Moving into the 9th frame. Joey with 109 plus. In the 8th, he'll be throwing in the 9th.
What do you think, Tom? A strike? He missed a single.
According to the rule book, we should expect one.
It's in the book.
Looks good.
He's been checking him up pretty well.
Couldn't have been further from a strike, could it?
He's had some tough luck, Tony.
He's been around the head pin, but he just hasn't been able to find that sweet spot, that right in the strong area of the pocket to blow away the pins.
No, and he had 4 10 frames in a row, so he was hitting pins. Look at this. Come up
Nice
there.
try. Nice try.
And he gets 9 here in the 9th frame, giving him 101.
Tony's maximum, as you see the score there, the most Tony can shoot is 131, so that just about does it. 118, 127 right now, so...
I'll let you go into these things with a number.
Joey needs a total of 4 more pins, whether he hits this one or not. When he bowls, he'll bowl the 10th box.
Right.
And if I were a betting man,
I would say Joey's going to be going to the finals.
So he needs 2 with this ball, you know, on his first ball.
Same type of game he bowled last time.
Yeah.
Strong finish.
The last game it was the 9th and 10th frame, and this game it was the 8th and 9th frame. So we do have a winner. Joey will be moving into the championship match.
So from his 4th seed, he's done very well so far. Ron De Carlo is the only obstacle in his path.
I like to see this, Joe. I like to see these guys come all the way up the ladder from the 4th and 3rd spots to make it to the finals.
Battle their way through the crowd. Huh?
Well, you know, there was a time in up the ladder competition that bowlers started feeling that the top spot was tough to win from.
Well, you get to sit around and you think somewhat about who's bowling
and how
who you could be bowling.
Yeah. And usually the guy coming to you is just coming off a pretty good game, or he wouldn't have won.
Right.
So there's again the mental part starts playing its role.
Well, you never worry about what the other guy's doing. You go up there, you stay within yourself, and you bowl your game.
You never should worry about it,
right.
but we do.
Well, Joey Sears finished with a 142. And Tony's going to wrap it up shortly.
Well, I tell you, Tony's, you know, sometimes we have games that are not as good as we bowled, and sometimes we have games that are better than we bowled. And in this case, he had a tough game.
Yeah.
He didn't bowl as bad as his score.
No, it's true. I agree with that entirely.
Little snake bit. Joey
Sears, our winner. Final match coming up against Ron De Carlo, and we'll be back after this.
Duckpin bowling, reach for the sky. The ball's in your lane. Make fly, fly. The ball rolling out, give it a try. Little ball, big ball, reach for the sky.
Looking for fun? Bowl at Fairlanes this weekend. Get the whole gang to go with you. Short season leagues now forming at all Fairlane centers.
Duckpin bowling, reach for the sky. My, oh my.
Behold the beer belly, the old spare tire, the Labanza. 50 million Americans need a shortcut to get from fat to flat. And here it is. It's called the Gut Buster. It's the ultimate fitness machine specifically designed to firm and flatten the stomach as nothing else can. Just watch this easy exerciser turn ordinary sit-ups into fat-burning, tummy-tightening power stretches. Each time you activate the resistance coil is like trading ugly flab for sexy, sinuous muscle. Just slip into the stirrups, curl your fingers around the molded hand grips, and row your way to a trimmer you. And ladies, if you're as serious as he is, that flat stomach you had in high school can be yours again. Minutes a day is all it takes. Basic spring-ups like these work the upper abdominal region. Reverse for tension-assisted high risers that exercise lower stomach muscles. This light but sturdy unit weighs in at just 27 ounces and travels easily so you can exercise anywhere. Forget about gyms, expensive rowing machines, and exercises you don't need. If your stomach's the problem, Gutbuster's the answer. Copycat devices may look similar, but nothing fights the battle of the bulge like the original Gutbuster. And it's yours with a 30-day money-back guarantee of satisfaction. So go ahead, Gutbusters. If you're serious, and you're serious about a flat stomach, just pick up the phone and exercise your right to call toll-free now.
To order your Gutbuster, call 1-800-445-3000. That's 1-800-445-3000. Use your credit card to avoid COD charges or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to The Gutbuster, Department 17, Canton, Ohio 44750. That's The Gutbuster, Department 17, Canton, Ohio 44750. That toll-free number again is 1-800-445-3000.
Here's the Amateur Duckpin Tour tournament schedule. February 14th and 15th at the Bowl America at Reisterstown. February 21st and 22nd, Fairlanes at Marlow Heights. The 28th and 29th of February in Pikesville. March 7th and 8th at Fontana Bowl. And March 14th and the 15th at Fairlanes Joppa. To enter, all you have to do is call 1-301-679-8008. And we're ready to go now with the Amateur Duckpin Tour of the finals of Fairlanes Westview tournament. And the finalists, right on your screen, Joey Sears and Ron De Carlo. Joey's done well so far, has he not, gentlemen?
Well, he has not lost a game. He's come from last seed or fourth seed and defeated Ernie Schuhly and Tony Dargan to get to Ron De Carlo. You got time to go make that phone call and join the Amateur Duckpin Tour right now.
Ron's got himself an 8 handicap. Joey's is a 15.
Joey's first ball here in this match, right in the pocket, solid 5-pin.
You think he's going to start this game strong? He's got a lot of confidence?
I think so. I really do. I know Ron did make him start. You notice, Tom, that seems to be taking more or less the line that they're taking.
Right.
The bowler's choosing to make the other bowlers start and finish last.
Joey coming out of the gate strong, opening with a mark in his first box. Here's Ron De Carlo.
It's a lot of turns on that ball, Tom.
Excellent ball in a 1-3, leaving the 4-pin.
That ball was down there before you knew it. I don't think the pins were even ready for that one.
And he makes his spare, so both bowlers come out of the gate strong here.
You know what was interesting? He just hit that single with a house ball.
Is that right?
That's right.
There's his high single game. So 213, 213. Not bad.
No, very good. It's interesting. I commented on the ball, and in our questionnaire it says the ball's manufactured by. He says, I don't know. I found them.
And trying to convert the spare break, picking out the 2-pin, looking to pick up wood. And he finishes with a 9 box. So after 2 frames, Ron De Carlo, a score of 33. Joey Sears now bowling in the second box, counting on a spare.
Joe, what do you think of Ron's style?
Throws a strong ball. He comments here that he pin bowls with his first ball, and then he spot bowls with the second ball.
Is that very unusual?
Oh, yes. I think that if you practice one thing, you'd have to become a little more proficient at it, and, you know, but again, it's a confidence. It's a mental part of the game, and if that's what you feel works best for you, then that's what you have to do. And it does give him the ability to switch. I'm sure if he was having trouble with the first ball, he could switch, simply because of the fact that, you know, he does throw balls at spots. I think it's hard enough bowling one way without, you know, trying two, but...
Joey Sears picking up the wood at 42 through 2 frames, now up in the third.
tell you that he lost that ball a little to the right, and his arm come out from his body. But I tell you, Joey looks to me like a lot more confident bowler than the Joey that bowled the first game.
I agree with you. I agree.
I think the mark in the 9th and 10th frame to beat Ernie was a boost.
You can just look at the intensity on his face right now. It seems to be more visible now than it was in the previous 2 matches.
Well, you know, the early match, I really sit here feeling that he felt like he didn't belong there. And I think he feels like he does.
And I think his opponents left the door open and let him in.
Uh-oh.
There's Ron De Carlo with a little sunshine there. We'll get another look at this. Putting the ball deep in the 3-6 pocket.
This is one that you really don't want to see if you're bowling against him.
He's a fast bowler. We can't get the replays in before he's got the other ball down the lane.
Well, you know, it takes away the time to start where you start thinking. You know, if your concentration's locked in, get up and throw it.
You know, that's something I was just realizing from the television point of view. You got to be careful that you're not marking the replay.
Yeah. Joey wouldn't have wanted us to do that.
No, that's for sure.
Ron counts 9 on the strike at 9 after the frame, giving him 61 through 4. Joey has 52 through 3 and blowing here in the 4th.
In our questionnaire, we do ask the bowler, you know, how do you feel that your mental attitude is at the time of the tournament? And Ron said, I'm very nervous.
But he doesn't look it. He looks very, very confident.
Well, he's no stranger to the television aspect of bowling. He was a 2-time winner on Pinbusters years ago.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he lost the 3rd game. I told him I wouldn't mention that.
Joey with a 7 box here in the 4th frame, giving him 59 as he moves into the 5th frame, trailing by 2 pins after 4 boxes.
These games have been phenomenal, just phenomenal.
Yeah, Joey's probably thinking, I wish the 8th, 9th, and 10th frames would get here. I bowled those well.
He's starting a little early this time, Joe. Good ball there.
He figures maybe this guy needs it. He needs the pressure early.
He really comes through when you know, when you get in position. Oh,
that was a live shot, folks. That wasn't a replay.
Yeah, Ron De Carlo covering up that strike.
Look, now he's ready. I'm telling you. That's not another look. That's another ball.
That's right.
Now, you think he went a little too quick there, Joe? Give himself a couple seconds.
Tom, I think if you tend to get ready quick, you tend to run up quick. Well.
Oh, he converts that spare or that break after taking out the 2 and 8 on the first ball.
Joey just gave him that look as if to say, hey, what do you want me to do here?
It wasn't really a high five, was it?
No, that was a weak high five.
But, you know, when he came back with a good ball and being on a strike, it didn't hurt a thing.
Right.
You know,
still have that 2
pins
balls to count.
But I think what we were commenting on, Tommy, you do. If you tend to set yourself and go fast, you'll tend to go faster. It's hard to change that rhythm, you know. So to take that little extra second, it doesn't hurt a thing.
Take a deep breath and relax and then go.
You got to collect your concentration, whatever that thought may be, and I think each bowler thinks of something different.
Joey looking to pick up the 1,
nice ball.
2, 4, and 5. A little heavy on the object pin, taking out the 1 and 5, and he'll be looking to pick up these 2 for wood.
I think they bowled those 3 frames in about 6 seconds.
You know, I was going to say, this might be the fastest game we've had. I've got some things here on Ron De Carlo. I haven't had a chance to say them. He's up and down so darn fast.
I know. I blinked and I forgot who was bowling.
Yeah.
Joey trailing by 4 pins after 6 frames. Ron De Carlo having a mark up in the 6th.
Look out.
Ah, there you go. Talk about your sunshine.
Well, you know, Ron hit the side and got the strike, and if you just keep beating on them, the breaks do even out, you know. The loser never really thinks so, but they do.
It's an important ball, right?
Well, you have to take advantage of the break.
Right, exactly. Especially late in the game, 7th box.
Ron must think he's going to make it because he picked up his ball to start.
And he didn't. Pulling it a little left.
That didn't please Joey at all.
No, well, he knew it was a key point in the game. You know, it's they have to come right through with that one.
Right.
That was a big mark he let get away. Plus, you know, when you get a break like that, he knew that he didn't throw the ball well enough to be shooting at a one-pinner, and then to turn around and give it back, it is upsetting.
There's a 3-game high score. How about that? 480.
Not bad. Well, I tell you, he can put it together. I mean, it's pretty obvious. He really snaps that ball.
He lives in Lansdowne, does most of his bowling at Fairlanes Southwest in Linthicum, Sunday night Triple League.
And he picks up 10 for the frame.
I tell you, if you got bonus pins for speed, these guys would get them all, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm. Good ball there.
Oh. You get 3 trips out of that pin, Tom.
Yes, he did.
Ron's been bowling since he was 16.
You see Joey trying his best not to look. Sometimes it's hard.
Key mark there for Ron, picking up that 7-pin for the spare in the 8th box. He has a 11-pin lead.
Well, I tell you, Tom, 11 pins right at this point are not all as big as it looks. If Joey can mark, and then you have, you know, an unfortunate thing like a chop by Ron and a 9 count by Joey, the game just turns around so fast.
Well, you know, you look at that scoreboard and see those marks that Ron has compared to Joey. You got to hand it to Joey for staying that close.
Yeah. Well, of course, Joey received 7 extra pins.
Yes, exactly.
You know, in the handicap.
That's a difficult shot.
You really have to push it through. And
a lot of drive on the ball.
You could see the ball go by that 8-pin. It didn't get by it by much. I tell you, Joey's going over and bowling 9th frame, and when you're behind this, you know, the 10th frame almost doesn't count if you don't mark here.
Right.
This is the box.
And he knows he's got to do it here to go all the way from his 4th seed to top prize money of $800.
If he don't, he has nothing to be ashamed of. He's going to pocket $400. Good. Oh, it's trying to get out there.
Well, he's got the 1-3 for spare break. Joey needing this to stay in the match.
No, poorly thrown.
Well, I think that's pressure showing.
Yeah.
And he takes care of him there that time. 116 through 9. Ron De Carlo right up and at him. Counts 8.
You gotta be ready for Ron.
If you don't want him to get out of the stall, you better shut the door, right?
Well, you mentioned that he bowls in a Sunday triples league, and this show will air on a Sunday. I'm probably going to rush to go right down and bowl in his leg.
Yeah. Oh,
he probably gets involved with a lot of these rock and bowl weekends. You know, I mean, the way he really moves it along.
He'd get his money's worth
Right.
because, you know, they charge you a flat rate with the rock and bowl, which take place at a lot of our local centers.
Yeah.
You play a flat rate, and they get to have a disc jockey, and it's a lot of fun for teenagers, any age, really.
Ron leads by 19 pins after 9 frames. A mark in 2 here would close Joey out.
A 10 frame puts him on a triple. Regardless of what he does, Joey's first 2 balls have to be strikes. I should say his first ball must be a strike, then we'll go from there, right?
Yeah, right.
But he does need at least a doubleheader.
Ron now looking to pick up the wood.
We'll know shortly, Tom.
But you know something?
Finishes the game with 145.
And I'm not counting Joey out.
Ron scores 144.
Well, let's see if he can do it again.
Needs
He's
the
in the
first one.
middle.
Looks good. There it is. Talk about a pressure ball there, Joe. Outstanding looking ball.
Well, you know, Tommy, and not taking anything away from Joe, but sometimes that's an easier position to be in than needing a spare, because you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. The target's big. There's 10 of them down there.
There's Dad. He's got his fingers crossed.
Well, now it shrunk a little. Now it shrunk. right? That this
Right.
one is tougher than the first
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And you can see it's tougher. It's right on his face.
You just put it out on the lane. It's in
He's
the same
going after
place.
it. Oh! And he
Good try.
just
Good
missed. Inches.
Good try.
Yes, he did. With a good
I
match.
feel like applauding that myself.
He made a match out of it.
See Ron De Carlo there breathing a sigh of relief. For a moment there, it looked like...
There's no defense, is it, Tom?
no,
When you're
just
sitting
sit
back
there and watch it. That's it.
Okay.
Joey Sears. Ron De Carlo, the winner, over Joey Sears, and we'll be back with the winning bowlers and checks after this.
How many of you out there have read either Time or Newsweek? Okay, no hands, you know who you are. Now ask yourself, how come you've never subscribed? And if you did, how come you've let your subscription run out? Maybe you weren't getting the news you really needed. Maybe you should be subscribing to U.S. News instead. You see, in sacrificing articles about Madonna, you get 10 better ways of managing your money. Rather than all the glitz about passing trends and fashion, you learn how folks just like yourself become millionaires. Instead of all the gossip, you get news you can do something with, like choosing the right colleges for your children. No matter where you turn to, you get clear, concise news of the world and nation, plus information you can put to use, like keeping up with technology, buying the right stocks, cutting your taxes, enhancing your career. I mean, what more could you ask for? How about U.S. News at a basic price that's lower than Newsweek, lower than Time? Guaranteed. Just 67 cents an issue, more than 65% off the cover price. And if you call now, 1-800-247-7600. You'll also receive free this exclusive U.S. News phone system with this unique built-in phone directory that puts the number you need right at your fingertips. Plus this push-button phone with memory and automatic redial. So call 1-800-247-7600. You can even pay in 3 easy installments of just $5.99 each. That's 27 weeks of U.S. News at more than 65% off the cover price. Plus this free U.S. News phone system. All at a rate that's lower than Newsweek, lower than Time, guaranteed. So call now. 1-800-247-7600.
Want a good job? Looking for a professional career? Then come to Strayer Business College, where in only 6 months or up to 15 months, you can prepare for a brighter future. Strayer, Maryland's oldest business college, located in downtown Baltimore, offers programs in word processing, secretarial, business administration, and accounting. Strayer is now registering for its spring quarter. Deadline for registration is March 9th, so call Strayer Business College at 539-5626. That's 539-5626. Day and night classes, job placement, and financial aid are available.
Now comes the good time. The winners, the smiles, and the checks. In fourth place, Ernie Schuhly Jr. winning $150. Ernie, I know you're used to bigger checks than this. I handed you one the other time. Congratulations. Third place, Tony Dargan, and a check for $200. Tony, congratulations to you. Good bowling. Joey Sears scrambled almost all the way to the top, won $400 for second place. Good bowling, Joey. And here's our winner, Ron De Carlo, who hardly gave us time to even run a replay of his strikes. That's how fast he bowls. Ron, congratulations to you. Chet Gaffney, who's the director of the Amateur Duckpin Tour, has a special presentation for Ron.
Congratulations, Ron. Here's your championship shirt, and we'll see you at our next tournament.
All right. Thank you very much. And we hope to see you on television at the next Amateur Duckpin Tourney. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We hope to see all new bowlers, exciting bowlers for big prizes. See you then. So long, everybody. Congratulations again.
Looking for fun? Bowl at Fairlanes this weekend. Get the whole gang to go with you. Short season leagues now forming at all Fairlane centers.
Bowling reach for the sky. My, oh my.
I'm Tom Quinn. Join us for Studio 34 Video Magazine. Our subject will be help for hair loss and baldness, fact or fantasy. And our guests will include Mr. Jim Wilbanks, developer of the P80 hair and scalp treatment, and several men and a woman who have successfully used P80 to fight hair loss problems. So check your local listings and join us on Studio 34. Thank you.
Be sure to watch Studio 34 magazine this Monday at 12:30 following The Tonight Show.
WUVTV, Baltimore 54, your Pet of the Day station.